I'm on Instagram, Mr. Bobby Bones. If you want to go over there and follow Mr. Bobby Bones, appreciate that. News time.
Bobby's Big
Stories.
Lunchbox, remember when you went to the diamond mine?
Yeah. And I didn't find anything for hours. It was so hot. It was backbreaking work. It was exhausting.
And then we had a listener that was like, yeah, I found one. Like $300,000.
Crazy.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. A man finds his 35,000th diamond at the park. I thought I was reading that wrong, but I thought it was 35th diamond. He's found 35,000 diamonds at the same park Lunchbox went to. His 50th this year.
Dang.
Bro, where did you look? This guy's found 35,000.
This tells me he goes every day. Right?
He probably goes a lot of days.
Yeah. I mean,
a man in Arkansas reached 2 major milestones when he found a diamond at the Crater of Diamonds State Park earlier this month. His name is Scott of Dirks, Arkansas. Found his 50th of the year. I wish I knew how much he's made from this. Over the last 4 years, he has found and registered more than 80 diamonds just because they're big enough.
Well, I recognize that spot he's at.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You see that little creek?
That's from Fox News.
Yeah, because I see the little gazebo over there.
Yeah.
That's
Where you took a
I don't
nap.
even know
Right, no, where I'm looking at him to his left is where I took a nap. There's a tree right to his left.
Didn't you have Abby dig and just be like, you keep digging? And,
No, I told her not to dig, and then she tried to say she found a diamond, and I
that's
told her
what
she
it
wasn't
was.
supposed to be digging while I was sleeping.
I knew it was something you were trying to control.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth's funeral is over. Her burial happens later today. Queen Elizabeth II's funeral service has concluded. Her coffin was carried into the historic Abbey by a 123-year-old gun carriage from Westminster Hall in a short procession. King Charles, Prince William, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Harry walked behind the casket. Some 2,000 people, including world leaders and royal family members, were invited to pay their respects at today's event. She was 96, right? That right there is the story.
Full life.
That she was 96, and it seemed to me like she was still kicking it pretty strong right up until she died. So, I mean, I guess the story is she was Queen of England for 70 years, but still, she was 96.
Yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P. for sure. Post Malone helped out by medics after falling through the stage at his show. Did you guys see this on Instagram?
It was brutal.
Crazy.
It's like a catwalk type of thing in a big circle, and he's on that circle in the middle, and he steps and boom, falls right through the floor.
Trap door.
Apparently, the trap door wasn't covered up or wasn't all the way up, and he fell through it, and his ribs were killing him. He continued to sing.
I think he broke 3 ribs.
So he was like, "Okay, guys, thank you. Thanks for hanging through this. There was a big hole in the stage. I'm very sorry." He finished out the show, and again, he just kept holding his ribs over and over. And yes, and later they found out he had broke his ribs. Yeah, I mean, he fell through hard.
Oh, he wasn't looking. He was looking at the crowd, and then
And he starts going, "Oh!"
Oh my gosh! I thought he looked like he was dying.
I just watched it.
Yeah, I saw it. Mike, I saw it on your Instagram. Mike broke the story.
Big posty.
The best place to sit on a plane to survive a plane crash is back, but kind of in the middle.
Huh.
So get as far back as you can as possible, but also in the middle. So if everybody else dies around you, you'll be the one that's like, thumbs up, all good. So researchers found that passengers near the tail of the plane were 40% more likely to survive a plane crash than those in the front, because if the plane nosedives, you'll be protected from the initial impact with the ground. That is some dark
don't like
stuff.
thinking about this.
It really is.
Eddie and I flew this weekend. I hate flying. I held Eddie's hand the whole time.
Yeah.
Even though Eddie's wife was sitting next to him, I was like, no, you hold my hand.
I told her he needs this.
Yes.
Yes.
MIT figures you could fly, on average, once a day for 4 million years before you get in a plane crash.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, but that's not true.
No, it's true.
No,
I
it's
trust
MIT.
MIT.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm sure somebody's flown like 2 times and then maybe something bad
But
happened.
then that means there's somebody who has flown for 8 million years and didn't crash, Eddie, by your logic.
Okay.
Okay? The type of show that will benefit your mental health is a nature show. If you watch a nature show for 30 minutes, that's the threshold, they say that you will experience some sort of feelings of happiness. For me, it'd be that it's over if it's a 30-minute show.
It's too long.
I don't like watching nature shows. I grew up in nature. I don't need to watch a show. I lived it.
You ever seen Earth, though? That's a good one.
I won't even start.
Oh, man, that's so good.
Animals can't talk. I like storyline.
Okay. All right. You like Lion King?
Yes.
Well, they're narrated, though.
Sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes they're with like a British accent. And I'm like, that ain't like Mountain Pine. We didn't have British people in Mountain Pine, Arkansas.
I think it's just saying, like, because when you're outside with nature, you get the benefits. So from watching it on TV, like, you like to Google things.
Well, if that's true, I'm going to watch exercise shows.
Okay.
Because I'm going to get the benefits from TV. They say that if you watch nature shows, you'll have an increased motivation to go outside, work out, or accomplish a task.
Oh.
Amazon Prime has one of the most watched nature documentaries right now, Flight of the Butterflies.
Ooh.
That is
that
from
sounds cool.
happyful.com. Which, by the way, I'll say this about Amazon. Their Thursday Night Football, pretty good. They had the first one last week. That's last Thursday. Pretty good all the way through for their first ever Amazon broadcast. Though you can't skip commercials.
That was
Right.
weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Because I'm watching, it's online, and who wants to watch a commercial? The only time I want to hear a commercial is when I listen to this show.
Yes.
And I listen
That's
to
it.
every commercial because I
Because
know those commercials matter.
We have good commercials on our
They're
show.
the best. We just won commercials of the year. Michael Jordan's Last Dance jersey from 1998, the NBA Finals, where the documentary kind of concludes, was sold for $10.1 million at an auction. The story's from ESPN. They talked about how for a long time game-worn stuff didn't go for this kind of money because collectors were like, it's too big. There's nowhere to put it. But now the jerseys are selling. This one for $10.1 million, which is completely crazy. A judge ruled that Taylor Swift has to go to trial for the Shake It Off copyright lawsuit. So I'm going to play you 2 clips here. Can you play me Taylor Swift Shake It Off?
'Cause the players gonna play, and the haters gonna hate.
In 2017, Sean Hall and Nathan Butler filed a copyright infringement lawsuit claiming that the chorus of Shake It Off was lifted from this 2001 song, Play Is Gonna Play.
Players, they gon' play, and haters, they gonna hate. Ballers, they gon' ball, shot callers, they gonna call. That ain't got nothing to.
Substantial similarity between the 2 songs, Play Is Gonna Play, asserts that play is they gon' play and hate is they gon' hate. While Shake It Off upholds that play is they gon' play, and haters are gonna hate.
Wow.
So it's not so much the melody as it is, I guess, maybe partial melody. But here's the thing about this song. 2 things I'll agree with. Play is gonna play,
Well, yeah.
and hate is gonna hate.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's just universal
I
truth.
think a lot of people say
That's
that.
universal truth. If I'm the judge, I award in favor of Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You can all get out of my courtroom. That's
Love
what I
it.
would say. That's from consequence.net. And also, let me say this. Amy, this is in the news, is doing a 4 Things with Amy Brown podcast event in Wichita, Kansas on November 5th. And tickets go on sale Friday at selectaseat.com. Correct, Amy?
Yeah, you can selectaseat.com/Amy.
Probably just go to selectaseat.com.
Well, yeah, the graphic will be there, but yeah, it's going to be exciting.
So that'll be happening in
Got it.
Wichita on November 5th. Tickets will go on sale this Friday if you want to go to that. All right, that's the news.
Those were Bobby's Big
Stories.
Luke Combs, The Kind of Love We Make, Bobby Bones Show. Thank you, guys.
Here we go.
Right now, we are in the Sonic Drive-In Studio.
The Bobby Bones Show.
When I was a kid, I used to watch wrestling all the time. I was a massive fan. WCW, WWF at the time. And there was a wrestler named Diamond Dallas Page. You guys probably met him last week. He's like
Yes.
6'6", but he's like 65 now. And he's in shape like a 45-year-old.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. He was doing, again, 65, and he was doing like yoga things in studio. Just like, hey, check this out, because he's a big fitness guy. But I couldn't believe he's 65 years old. And he was talking about wrestling and how he shut down a hater who did not who didn't like respect him as an athlete, because everybody's like, wrestling's fake.
There's this one guy I could just tell he don't respect what we do. So I asked him, I said, can I ask you a question? He said, sure. I said, you don't respect what we do you? I said, honestly? I said, honestly. He said, not really. I said, well, let me ask you a question. Do you like Broadway? Of course. I go, what's your favorite play? He goes, Phantom of the Opera. I said, I don't want to spoil this for you, but the guy doesn't really get burnt with the oil. You know, and I mean, the crew burst out laughing.
He's so big, so tall. And if I'm 66 and look like that, that's a win.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's a win. And then I asked him, I was like, hey, when you get those championship belts, do you get to keep them? Because you have to give them back when you lose? Here's what he said.
Yes.
So do you have 3 world championship
No,
belts?
you get to keep the first one.
Okay, and then they just make another one?
Yeah. Well, they're always constantly making them. The only way you'll know the real WCW Big Gold, top is bent. And I don't know how that thing ever got bent, because it's bronze and gold plated. It's like, I don't know how it got bent, but that's how you know it's a real one.
So it'll be up on the 25 Whistles podcast today. We did 45 minutes. If you love old school wrestling, Diamond Dallas Page will be on, and then we'll catch up on all the football action from over the weekend. So 25 Whistles, that'll probably be up around noon today, but Diamond Dallas Page will be on. Did you guys do any pictures with him? Did you anybody do the Diamond?
No.
I did
No,
not. You did.
I did. I don't want to do a normal picture, but I didn't want to get beat up doing it because I didn't want to do the Diamond. He was like, do the Diamond. And I was like, all right.
Okay, yes, sir.
Here you go, buddy. Yeah, so 25 Whistles, check that out. Coming up in a second, I'm not a big superstition guy. I don't believe in a lot of superstitions. But when it comes to sports, I don't mess with them either. Okay? So I don't believe in them, but I'm not going to go against one just in case. And I have a creepy situation that happened over the weekend.
Okay.
Superstition-wise.
Okay.
You can tell me, 'cause again, I don't believe it, but this weekend I was like, maybe there's something to this. So we'll talk about that next. going to tell you about Superstition in just a second. But our phone lines are open for you. 877-77-BOBBY. That's our number, 877-77-BOBBY. I have this necklace. I've talked about it before. And I wore this necklace during the first Arkansas football game. But we were struggling a little bit. Then I put it on. We won. It's my friend's daughter's necklace. It had a little princess on it. And then I wore it game 2. We crushed. Well, at a wedding, we went to Sequoia, California this past weekend. And the game started Pacific time, 4 o'clock. The wedding started at 4 o'clock. I couldn't wear the necklace. It's a big necklace.
You can't wear that to the
I
wedding.
can't wear the necklace in the wedding. Right. We're in the wedding. And so I didn't wear the necklace. And so we finish, and we drive all the way back down the mountain. It's a long drive. And I didn't have the necklace. And I put the necklace on then. We were down 17-0 until I put the necklace on.
But there was also no reception, so you didn't know you were losing.
Until we could actually get to some Wi-Fi, we were down. I put the necklace on. We came back and won the game.
That's crazy.
Okay,
you have to keep that necklace for the whole season.
Come on. Tell me. Now, I don't believe it.
Right.
But I don't not believe it.
Yeah, you can't risk that.
So then you kind of believe it.
Yeah.
No.
I
don't. I'm not a big superstition guy. I don't believe it. I'm not messing with it, though. But I'm telling you, we didn't come back to win that game. And it was with a much lesser opponent until I put the necklace on. And then when I put the necklace on, we won the game. So tell me there's not power in the princess.
I can't tell you that.
You can't tell me that. I'm not going to tell you there is, though. I'm not going to tell you there's power in the princess. But I can't. So, yeah.
You need to do something for this little girl.
No, she doesn't know I have her necklace. So.
Yeah. So if you went to the game, would you wear that?
Oh, absolutely.
So you'd wear it in public?
Of course.
Okay, I'm just making sure because it has something to do with them winning.
No, I have to wear it in public now at this point. I have to wear it wherever I go. We went, and I'd never been into the Sequoia National Park, which is where we went. We flew to Fresno. We drove over to, stayed near, and then we had to drive an hour into the national park, and it's up a mountain. It's an hour drive up. That's where the big trees are. Mm-hmm. You ever seen a big tree before like that? Did you see my Instagram?
Yeah, I saw your Instagram. I have never been there yet.
Yeah,
huge trees.
You got big trees.
Huge.
And so I get so car sick because it is nothing but hairpin turns the entire way up. And Eddie was driving, thank goodness. And there are no guardrails in some parts of that. And Eddie's looking at mountains.
Stop.
And I'm like, Eddie, stay!
Guys, it was stupid. I've never been to Sequoia either.
But
I
you
wanted to see the scenery.
You can't look at the scenery when you're going to kill us all.
So I'd be driving, Amy, and I'd hear one in the back go, oh, look at that. And I'd look for a second. Bobby would be like, put your hands back on the wheel and look at the road.
So that's what we did for an
that's
hour.
hard.
I didn't even get to focus on my car sickness. I had to watch him driving because
Well, maybe it was a good distraction for your car sickness.
No, it wasn't. It was awful.
Yeah,
I had
man.
to watch the road.
Oh.
And I'd be like, "Oh, should we pull over and get a picture here?" Dude, drive. Just drive. Just drive.
so
There's
pretty.
nowhere to pull over. He's like, "Maybe we should pull over and get a picture here." We finally pulled over a couple of times and got pictures on the side of the road, but we almost died 5 times.
They'd be like, oh, look at that tree. I can't look at it. Can someone please describe it to
then
me?
he looked. But then he
No, it
looked.
would be that story of the people that are trying to get a pretty picture and they die to their death.
Mm-hmm.
They fall to their death.
But we didn't.
But we got a picture because we pulled
And
over.
we did get a picture.
My Instagram, if you go to Mr. Bobby Bones, you can see some of our. I stood beside one of these big old trees. Listen, I grew up in Mountain Pine, Arkansas. We had pines. We had big pines. Ain't nothing compared to these things. Although I will say, I thought it would be all full of trees. I thought you got up there and it was all massive sequoia trees. It was like Jack and the Beanstalk.
Is that what they're called, sequoia trees?
I think it's what's called Sequoia National
Okay.
Park. I don't know. I just assumed.
Sounded right. I don't know.
Or maybe the sequoia. I don't know. But there's just like, it's like every 5th or 6th one.
Yeah.
So really cool.
Yeah, don't get it twisted. There's some little trees there.
Yeah.
Oh, there are little ones.
little
There's some
tiny
little, yeah,
trees.
there's some little ones. There's some boo-boos. Giant sequoia is what they're called. It says,
wow.
what's special about it? I'll tell you what's special about it. They're freaking huge.
Yeah, they're ginormous.
Yeah. So, and they're it's sad though, because some of them were burnt down from wildfires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. And Eddie's like, look at those. They're burned. Eddie, watch the road!
Yeah. Y'all didn't let me look at too much.
So that's what we did this weekend. It's pretty cool. We had a good little trip. Got back yesterday, watched some football, checked some voicemails here. This is play number 3, Corey, right here, Ray.
Bobby. Man, I am waking up in Hawaii. Man, you did it again. 14-0, another parlay hit. Why not go 5 teams next week, too? Let's see what we can do.
Amy, I'm telling you, I'm on the craziest streak
What
I've
is
ever seen in
happening?
all streaks. On our football podcast, 25 Whistles, I'm 15-0 on making bets.
And I just said to you today, okay, I'm going to bet. And you say no.
Well, because I keep thinking I'm eventually going to miss.
But you said that last week. Too.
Right.
Eddie and I were together, and I was like, I can't believe I hit 4 games in a single bet. I'm 15-0. It is unbelievable. I can't believe it.
I think I have money to
You do?
play with.
Because I won you money during the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, so let's go.
So yes, I'm 15-0. It is
I need to-
unbelievable.
I need whatever this guy has going on. He sounds like he's just living his best life.
He's in Hawaii, betting games.
All because he won.
Waking up. That's
Feeling
awesome.
good.
Today's Trisha Yearwood's birthday. Top 3 Trisha songs of all time. Number 3, How Do I Live?
How do I live without?
Number 2, X's and O's.
She used to tie her hair up in ribbons and bows.
And we'll tell you the number 1 song in just a second. So think about that. Trisha Yearwood, number 1 streaming song. Here are some things you may not know about her. Her first shows were opening up for Garth Brooks on his tour in 1991. She was a brand new artist, and he told her that she could use the entire stage during her set.
So my very first audiences were opening for Garth. And of course, Garth being Garth, most of the time if you're on a big tour like that, the artist has all their stuff and then there's a big curtain in front of it and you've got about 3 feet to stand in front of and do your show, which would have been a dream come true for me because I was terrified. And of course, Garth's like, here, use my whole stage. I'm like, oh, that's so great.
I guess he's been doing that to people he likes forever because he told me the same thing when Eddie and I were opening for him.
That's right.
And I was like, wait, you want us to do what?
Huh.
He said, you can use the whole stage. Dang.
We're as important to him as he is Trisha. That's amazing.
That's
wow.
pretty cool. Number 4 on the list, she's an introvert, which is hard to believe because of how we see her, but she really believed in her having a good voice and that would help her be more extroverted. And here she is talking about that.
I believed in my voice, but I'm basically an introvert. And so I really thought I can sing. I'm a little bit overweight. I don't play an instrument really. I can play a little bit of guitar. So I didn't think I had enough. I thought I've got this one skill that I believe in, but I don't have all these other ones.
Number 3, she used to sing in a band at a bowling alley, and she would get off work at her job as a receptionist and go to the bowling alley.
And then for a while, I got a job playing at a bowling alley. So I would go leave my job and I would play from 7 to 2. You play sets, so you play like three sets.
Are you in a band?
Mm-hmm. I was in a band. So I did all the girl songs, and then I would get up and go to work.
Which is crazy to think about her doing that. Like, she had to grind too early on. Number 2, starting out, she made more money singing background vocals on albums than she did at her day job as a receptionist. And she talked about how much money she made doing background vocals.
$20, maybe 40 if there's more than one harmony and you're out the door, so it was but you add those up in a day and it was a pretty good living. So I made better money doing demos than I did as a receptionist. And then I got a record deal and then I was broke, because then you stop doing all of that and then you're in debt.
And finally, the coolest one, she worked as a receptionist, like she talked about. She didn't tell anyone she was a singer while working as a receptionist. They didn't find out until she got a record deal.
After I got my record deal, there were people at that building who said, we didn't know you sang. I was shy and I wasn't bold about telling people I was a singer, but after working at that label for about 6 months and answering the phones and ordering liquid paper and watching people do what I wanted to do, I realized if I don't tell somebody this is what I do, if I don't really get off my butt and try to make this happen, then I'm going to get to do this for the rest of my life.
That's Trisha Yearwood. All that's on a Bobbycast. We will reload it. I did an hour with her. You can go over to the Bobbycast and hear that. It's her birthday. And her number 1 stream song, guys?
She's in love with the boy.
Okay, you guys yelled a lot of things there.
In love
Lunchbox,
with
what'd you say?
She's in love with Johnny. His bad boy.
Yeah.
Come driving up the path. You know what I'm talking
That's a
about?
long song title.
Wow.
But, I don't know the name of the net.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
is.
See,
yeah, she's in love with Johnny.
Oh, it's Tommy.
She's in love with the boy. She's in love with the boy
my
from Trisha
gosh.
here. Here you go. Bobby Bone Show. Stick around for the next segment. Breland in next. He is so good. He's going to perform right here. I'm talking about, you hear his voice and be like, dang. That's what you're going to do. You're going to be like, dang. All right, Breland in studio next.